Going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is time to preview the game of the week, potentially the game of the year for the Buffalo Bills. The Kansas City Chiefs will be coming into town this Sunday for a 4:25 kickoff. Now, again, this is a massive game as the Kansas City Chiefs are still undefeated, 9 games into the season, sitting at 9-0. Meanwhile, the Bills are 8-2, one of the best starts they've had in a long time. I believe the last time they were 8-2 was '93. Again, I mean, this Buffalo Bills team, it was supposed to be a rebuild year. It was supposed to be, contend for a wild card spot and see what you could do in the playoffs. The Bills, if they win this game, they've pretty much clinched the AFC East, and I don't know when the last time a team has clinched a division that early, so that would be absolutely shocking. But again, the AFC East has been terrible this year, so, the Bills could be, sitting at 500 right now and still be in a good spot to win that. But anyways, this is a massive game. Again, not only for, confidence on each side, but whoever wins this game has a good possibility of being number one in the AFC at the year's end because, again, this would give you the tiebreaker. Now, I know this game's not specifically for first in the AFC because the Chiefs have already had their bye and they also have no losses. Meanwhile, the Bills have 2 losses. But, you get my point. There's no way the Chiefs, if they were to lose this game, go undefeated the rest of the way. So this is pretty much for first or, the tiebreaker wherever these two teams end up in the AFC. So let's start off with the Chiefs. I don't usually do this, but let's start off with the other team because they're coming off a win against the Denver Broncos, and that was one of the craziest endings I've ever seen. But I think we all knew that kick wasn't going in at the end there for the Broncos because this Chiefs team just they found a way to win every single game this year, and it's almost ridiculous, right? From a fan of a team that's not the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, it's almost annoying, but you just got to sit back and laugh because this team just, again, people are saying, do they have some sort of like magic voodoo on them or something? It makes no sense how this team continuously wins games. They've barely scraped by the Buccaneers. Then they come in against the Broncos, and the Broncos seem to be up on them all game, but you're like, no, the Chiefs are always going to win this. And then the Chiefs get up, and, you think the game's over. The Broncos march right down the field. They have a chip shot. I think it was a 35-yard field goal. Of course, it gets blocked. The Kansas City Chiefs win. Mahomes on the year, 9 games in, 2,208 passing yards. Their leading rusher, Kareem Hunt, with 449. Again, they've had some injuries in that room. They had to bring back Kareem Hunt. He's looked really good so far as a Chief. Their leading receiver is Travis Kelce with 499 yards. So after last year where Kelce kind of fell the second fiddle on that team, he's back to being their lead receiver. Tackles, Nick Bolton has looked really good. 62 tackles so far this year. Justin Reed has 1 interception, and that is tied for the team lead there. So not a whole lot of interceptions coming out of this Chiefs team. But again, if you're gonna beat the Chiefs, you have to outscore them and you have to outcoach them. And it's very hard to outcoach Andy Reid. Now let's shift over to the Bills. They're coming off a big 30-20 win against the Colts. Again, the Colts, they kind of gave that game away early. The Bills tried to give it back. Josh Allen didn't have his best game, that's for sure. It might have been his worst game, but he still made a couple of crucial throws as the game went on to get that big win. He's up to 2,281 passing yards. Now keep in mind he's played an extra game than Mahomes, so let's not compare the two until after our bye week. James Cook, 576 rushing yards on the season. Khalil Shakir, the Bills' leading receiver, with 529 yards. Dorian Williams, the leading tackle, with 93 yards. Hasn't he been really good this year, stepping up for that void that Milano left when he was injured? Now, the Bills actually did just open up the 21-day window for Matt Milano, so I would expect to see Matt Milano back on the field within, 3 to 4 weeks. So that is huge news. Cannot wait for that. Again, Terrell Dodson just got dropped by the Seahawks, so we'll see if the Bills make a move on him. Again, this video is being recorded a couple days before it comes out, so if that already happens, bear with me. And then for interceptions, there's a lot of Bills with 2. Let me highlight defensive tackle Austin Johnson, though. I mean, the guy has 2 interceptions after having no interceptions in his entire career. Just an incredible season for him. The Bills also brought back Quentin Jefferson and Jordan Phillips, who both had crucial plays last week to help them beat the Colts. So that's a good look for the Bills. Again, Keon Coleman will be out this week for the Bills, so that kind of stinks. Kincaid will be questionable. Again, had that hamstring injury, or knee injury, I guess you could say, extending for that overthrown ball down the sidelines. And then Amari Cooper will also be questionable. So, again, the Bills might be very light in the receiving core, again, depending on how this week progresses. But it's gonna be your regular Bills versus Chiefs game, right? Back and forth action. Who gets out coached? Who outperforms who? Again, Josh Allen, he hasn't really had to be Superman at all yet this season. A game here or there, but this is the game where Allen's gonna have to really just step up and be that guy the entirety of the game, because you can't be throwing picks against the Chiefs and expect to win. Josh Allen cannot have the same game he had last week against the Colts and expect to win this one. Now, it is nice, right? Again, with the AFC East pretty much already being clinched, this game is not as stressful as it usually is. Again, I'm one where, this Bills team, I thought they were making the playoffs since the start, so the regular season is just a waste of time until you get there, because anything could happen in the playoffs. But of course, it's always nice to beat the Chiefs, and the team that just continuously knocks us out in the playoffs. It would be really nice to send their undefeated season down the drain. So we'll see what happens in this game. I'm really excited about this one. The CBS crew is coming on the road to do a live show at 12 o'clock at the Bills Stadium. I can't wait for this one. I'm excited. Definitely the game of the week. Definitely America's game of the week. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And now let's check out what our BSC panel has projected for this huge game.
Crazy. 2nd and 8. Down the middle, they go wide open. This is going to be a touchdown. Touchdown for James Cook.